Hello Fifis, collectors, it's me, Daniel, so I was back here with a Star Wars review. Today we're not going to be having a look at FIGGIE per se, but something that had my curiosity, then had my attention when they were announced pre-celebration and during celebration when they were showing them off. This comes from a relatively new toy company producing products for the Star Wars license, and the more and more they've shown off of it, the more and more I've been itching to get my hands on some of their products. So as soon as Smiths listed these online, say that they were coming in stock, I was keeping my little crap bad eyes very close on that web page, just to see when they were going to actually come into stock rather than having it delivered and stress of delivery things. So slowly stores started to get them in stock, or showing them at least in stock, and today, well, I noticed that my nearest branch had them in, so I jumped on a tram and made my way down straight after work, and luckily I came away quite fruitful. To be fair, the only two that they had were ones that I wasn't that fussed about when they announced them, but I just wanted to get my hands on one just to get a feel on the line and see if it was maybe investing here and there on. I don't think I'd buy everything that they're going to release, but certain things may have to yet, because they're doing some really interesting stuff that spans a vast array of the Star Wars canon and franchise, which is awesome. It's what I love to see. It doesn't seem too heavily set on one movie or show or thing, which is just naturally great for capturing the attention of a vast array of fans. So I know, dear viewer, you are probably wondering, Mr. Wafaz, what have you picked up? Well, dear viewer, I picked up the new Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadrons X-Wing and TIE Fighter Advanced. So these are the first two to be released. Actually, technically there was one before this that was made available at Celebration for those lucky ducklings that went and visited the Jazzware booth, of whom are the creators of this line. Although they were the little blind boxes, and I think everyone who got one of them blind boxes ended up getting a Scout Trooper with speeder bike. So it's a nice little con thing, nice little introduction to give you a bit of a flavour of what the line's going to be like. But those were the more smaller, low budget end, if you will, kind of side of the line. These are a bit more, I think mid-tier, I would say. And then there are bigger vehicles than this. And to be honest, the bigger vehicles look incredible. We're getting a Razor Crest and a Millennium Falcon, Slave one as well, Boba Fett Starship. I picked up these two. I was more fussed about getting the Luke one with R2, but I saw the Vaders Tie Advanced and I was like, oh god, these accompany each other very well, so I will have to buy these, okay? So I did. I picked them both up, naturally because I'm holding them in my hand. So yeah, these are gold stickered with limited edition, or sorry, launch edition, my apologies. Launch edition, if I can read, with a little gold Millennium Falcon sticker there. They hark back very much to the Action Fleet Star Wars Micro Machines line of toys.
These Micro Machines are bigger. They're new Star Wars Action Fleet vehicles from Micro Machines
that Hasbro did try and recreate when Force Awakens came out. They just didn't do it for me. The playsets were trash, and picked up the Star Destroyer and it was flimsy as hell. Not great as a playset. Completely missed the ball of what it could have been. You know, Star Wars suits a very nice small scale. I know it's funny me saying that when I'm a Black Series collector. You can't redo vehicles in 6-inch scale. It just gets a little bit too ridiculous. As much as I love the Snowspeeder, that thing is a little bit stupid as to where are you going to put it. These, however, are very nice, very compact, great for collectors. From what I've heard, there's going to be some chase variants, quite limited edition, quite sought after and hard to find, very randomised. I tried having a peekaloo to see if there was any chases of these two, but no such cigar there. But for kids as well, I mean, this is a great way for new Star Wars fans to get into a toy line. So, you know, you're getting a vehicle, you're getting your characters, your core characters. It just feels very big and kind of expandable, which is what Star Wars is all about. It's a growing galaxy with growing characters and vehicles as well. Ain't no bones about that. First issue releases, these sort of made sense. I mean, you've got to have an X-Wing. Darth Vader's TIE Fighter is badass. Here's the packaging. It's very standard stuff, but I do like the sort of silver trim. I don't know if that's just going to be for the launch edition or if it's going to carry on through the actual line. Star Wars at the top there, you've got a nice little backing display of TIE Fighters coming into the fray. Of course, the vehicle and the micro figures that you get. You've got pictures of the features and whatnot that the vehicles can do. Not really much going on the side there. Got some nice artwork, the X-Wing in fight. On the back, you get a little nice cut-out thing of the X-Wing schematic. So that kind of harks back to the very sort of retro thing back in the day, where a lot of figures would have that cut-out feature on the box art. So it's kind of a nice little thing that they've added there. Again, more features, nice picture of the vehicle. Then other ones that you can get, including showing you some of the chase variants. So you've got Moff Gideon's TIE Fighter and Luke Skywalker's X-Wing from The Mandalorian. That version of the X-Wing actually has a different Luke Skywalker to this one, where it's more of a Jedi looking Luke, which is really cool to see. I don't think the R2 is too different. And the X-Wing itself, I believe, is also a bit more weathered and rugged looking. But the other two vehicles, of course, we've got the TIE Advanced, which I'll show you the box art in a moment, and Obi-Wan's Starfighter as well, which I'm really hyped to try and get my hands on that one, just because it comes with the hyperdrive ring. Really, really sweet. Love that. But that's the X-Wings box. Let's have a look at the TIE Fighter. Just a quick squiz round of that one, just because it's very much the same sort of thing. On the back there, you've got run down some of the features, of which I will show you. Again, that schematic card that you can cut out, and then run down the other vehicles that you can pick up. There's no real bio, unfortunately, on these. That would have been nice to have seen. Just a bit of a rundown on some specs of the vehicles. But I mean, the packaging itself is quite standard issue, but the vehicles themselves just really have pulled me in. I'm really curious to crack these open and take a look at them. So without further ado, let's go and do that now. Oh, you are kidding me. So I had a whole bit planned. We were going to open this up. We are going to have an experience together. And Muggins here didn't press the record button, which I don't know how that happened, to be honest with you. But here we are. We live with the consequences, and we do something with it. So the something is, I'm going to show you the vehicle now. Sorry you didn't get to experience the joy that had the opening pie of experiencing this. I have to say, this is really, really super cool. I love the weathering, detailing, the whole sculpt work. It looks like it's literally been pulled off screen. That's what I look for in a Star Wars toy or figgy, and this fits the bill. It looks really great for the size and scale. It does feature some cool features, namely number one, you can move the X-Files into attack position like so. It's quite nice, and you just move them back in. You also have the landing gear, of which pulls down. You've got one at the front, then two underneath the engines there at the back. It's quite nice, because if you've got stumpy figures like me, you've got a little R2 there, which we did see in the box. I've placed him in the little droid socket. You know, if you're going to struggle to pull him out, these chunky little figures, you just press the button and he slowly raises up. Just do a little action replay there. Slowly raises up. And you can get him out much easier. Now, the big concern with that R2 is you'd be thinking, oh no, like something so small, when you're whooshing it about, you know, flipping it upside down, it's going to fall out. It's not. It's stuck in, because, like, nicely enough, Jazzwares have put a little peg there, and inside R2-D2's little Tig Cab booty hole, you can stick him in there, and he's going to be quite nicely secure. He ain't going nowhere. You know, he's quite snug in there. No issues with that. Likewise with Luke in the cockpit, actually, if you open it up, is attached via a little peg and a peg hole there. Lifts up quite nicely and stays in place quite nicely. In terms of the R2, very, very teeny-tiny. Very, very small boy, but very, very cute and really well detailed as well. You can see the sculpting work quite nicely there, and the paint application is good. You can't put like an insane amount of paint on it because of how tiny it is, but the sculpting's there, and that's just incredible to me. He looks absolutely awesome. So we'll plop him back in his little droid socket and just have a quick look at Luke as well, for him sat quite nicely in the cockpit there. His flight suit, you know, the sculpt's there, and that's all you really need it to be. You know, the main colours are there. You can tell what it's supposed to be. You know, you're looking at it from a distance. You're looking at it from like here. You can kind of tell what it is. And he's going to be sat in the X-Wing for the most part, I'd imagine. Unless you want him displayed outside, you can do that. It's your toy, you do what you want. So, there's Luke. In terms of his articulation, as you can see there, he can give you a nice little bow. And you can move his arms up, raise his hands up in the air. They both move together, they don't move independently. A quick look in terms of the cockpit. Again, there's not really too much detailing going on in there, but there's enough to give you a sense of that. Luke, use the Force. Of course, the X-Wing, you've got the iconic Luke's red markings on there. His core markings as well. A lot of grime on this, so I'm curious to see what the variant from The Mandalorian, how caked in, you know, weathering that's going to be, because apparently that's meant to be even more weathered. But this looks considerably weathered as it is. You know, you've got a lot of grime streaking. The engines as well are black, burnt colour. It's the only little gripe that I have with the mid-tier, which are these ones, and the more pricier ones. They don't come with display stands or flight stands. Bit of a missed opportunity. Would have liked to have seen that. Hopefully it's something they introduce later on or as an additional buy-on thing. No man, this vehicle is really, really cool. Love the weathering, love the detailing. Just really, really nice work that's gone into this. A lot of love, a lot of attention to detail. And that's what I'm here for. So that's Luke's X-Wing. I hope you found a nice little look around at this. So I think we'll take a look at Darth Vader's TIE Fighter next. So here we have Darth Vader's TIE Advanced out of his plastic prison. I did keep Vader inside his little dinky box, just to give you a good look at him just before we pop him in. He kind of has a very action figure unboxing experience, which is weird on such a small scale. But the detail on him is really, really quite remarkable. Let's pop him open, shall we? Yeah, his cape does come off. It's quite snug fitting, you know, for something so small. There's no peg on it either. But the cape sits quite nicely on him. Same again in terms of articulation with the Luke. His arms just raise up and down. The legs as well move. Yeah, man, that's just Vader. Detailing for something so small. It's just remarkable. Love that. Plonk him in his old TIE Advance and see if he actually fits in with his cape as well. I don't think he will. We shall see though. We shall see. No. No, he is not going to go in there with his cape, I don't think. Yeah, it does show that, but seemingly not the case, Jazzwire, but I'll let you off, you little scamps. Okay, one thing I've sort of got to try is, can you do the thing from Star Wars Rebels? Oh, we're doing it. We're doing it. It's out of focus, but we're doing it. Come on, get in focus before he falls off. Oh, we did it. That's cool. That's really fun. I don't know how well. You can kind of see the controls in there. Naturally not painted. Would have been nice to see that. But, you know, attention to detail is exquisite. No, nowhere to restore his cape. Bit of a bummer. But it's okay. So he's sat in there. And then one of the play features is if you open up the cockpit. I think there's like an ejector seat feature, but it doesn't really seem to work. It's probably a good thing that it doesn't work really well, just because if you did do that, then he'd ping all over the place and you'd probably lose him. But just helps you, you know, lift him out, that little ejector button. And at the back here, if you pull that open, you can see some of the inner workings of the TIE Advance, which is, yeah, it's a thing. It's a nice little addition. Then also you've got these wings which are removable for battle damage. No eject button on those, just manual removal, which is a little bit lackluster. A little bit lackluster. But I'm still vibing with it, don't get me wrong. I'm still vibing with it, just not as much as the X-Wing. I do like my TIE Fighters, and Vader's TIE Advance is no exception to that. That cockpit looks really, really great. You've got the solar panels on the side there, at the top. I think a wash would have probably served this one really well as well, but they've not included that, probably because it is slightly bigger than Luke's X-Wing. But yeah, there's just not as many features as the X-Wing. Very screen accurate. Not my best impression, granted, but yeah, not too much to say about this one. Rather nifty, rather swish. I like this, but I also like this probably a little bit more. But together, oh, great fun. What's not to love about this? Can't wait to see what Jazzwares is going to do with this line, where they're going to take it. I think it's got a lot of promise for both new collectors and pre-existing collectors alike. There's a lot of collectability here, and I highly recommend them. I'll probably be cherry picking some of my wants and likes. Well done, very well done with these. I'm really impressed. This is me, Daniel East 1000. So thank you very much for watching.